Chester Arthur. Be fit for more than the thing you are now doing. Let everyone know that you have a reserve in yourself, that you have more power than you are now using. If you are not too large for the place you occupy, you are too small for it. If it were not for the reporters, I would tell you the truth. I may be President of the United States, but my private life is nobody's damned business. Men may die, but the fabric of our free institutions remains unshaken. Well, there doesn't seem anything else for an ex-president to do but to go into the country and raise big pumpkins. There are very many characteristics which go into making a model civil servant. Prominent among them are probity, industry, good sense, good habits, good temper, patience, order, courtesy, tact, self-reliance, many deference to superior officers, and many consideration for inferiors. Honors to me now are not what they once were. The extravagant expenditure of public money is an evil not to be measured by the value of that money to the people who are taxed for it. Since I came here I have learned that Chester Arthur is one man and the President of the United States is another. The office of the Vice President is a greater honor than I ever dreamed of attaining. Grover Cleveland. Though the people support the government should not support the people. In calm water every ship has a good captain. Above all, tell the truth. Office holders are the agents of the people, not their masters. It is said that the quality of recent immigration is undesirable. The time is quite within recent memory when the same thing was said of immigrants who, with their descendants, are now numbered among our best citizens. The ship of democracy, which has weathered all storms, may sink through the mutiny of those aboard. A cause worth fighting for is worth fighting for to the end. A truly American sentiment recognizes the dignity of labor and the fact that honor lies in honest toil. Men and times change, but principles never. Our citizens have the right to protection from the incompetency of public employees who hold their places solely as the reward of partisan service. Benjamin Garrison. I knew that my staying up would not change the election result if I were defeated, while if elected I had a hard day ahead of me. So I thought a night's rest was best in any event. We Americans have no commission from God to police the world. I pity the man who wants a coat so cheap that the man or woman who produces the cloth. The virtues of courage and patriotism have given recent proof of their continued presence and increasing power in the hearts and over the lives of our people. God forbid that the day should ever come when, in the American mind, the thought of man as a consumer shall submerge the old American thought of man as a creature of God, endowed with unalienable rights. Is it not quite possible that the farmers and the promoters of the great mining and manufacturing enterprises which have recently been established in the South may yet find that the free ballot of the workingmen, without distinction of race, is needed for their defense as well as for his own? Shall the prejudices and paralysis of slavery continue to hang upon the skirts of progress? How long will those who rejoice that slavery no longer exists cherish or tolerate the incapacities it put upon their communities? There is no constitutional or legal requirement that the President shall take the oath of office in the presence of the people, but there is so manifest an appropriateness in the public induction to office of the chief executive officer of the nation that from the beginning of the government the people, to whose service the official oath consecrates the officer, have been called to witness the solemn ceremonial. When and under what conditions is the black man to have a free ballot? When is he in fact to have those full civil rights which have so long been his in law? When is that equality of influence which our form of government was intended to secure to the electors to be restored? This generation should courageously face these grave questions, and not leave them as a heritage of woe to the next. But notwithstanding all this, in many parts of our country where the colored population is large, the people of that race are by various devices deprived of any effective exercise of their political rights and of many of their civil rights. The wrong does not expend itself upon those whose votes are suppressed. Every constituency in the Union is wronged. William McKinley. That's all a man can hope for during his lifetime, to set an example, and when he is dead, to be an inspiration for history. The American flag has not been planted on foreign soil to acquire more territory but for humanity's sake. The liberty to make our laws does not give us the freedom nor the license to break our laws. Strong hearts and helpful hands are needed, and, fortunately, we have them in every part of our beloved country. War should never be entered upon until every agency of peace has failed. The path of progress is seldom smooth. New things are often found hard to do. Our fathers found them so. We find them so. But are we not made better for the effort and sacrifice? Our faith teaches that there is no safer reliance than upon the God of our fathers, who has so singularly favored the American people in every national trial and who will not forsake us so long as we obey His commandments and walk humbly in His footsteps. I do not prize the word cheap. It is not a word of inspiration. It is the badge of poverty, the signal of distress. Cheap merchandise means cheap men, and cheap men mean a cheap country. Half-heartedness never won a battle. The more profoundly we study this wonderful book, and the more closely we observe its divine precepts, the better citizens we will become and the higher will be our destiny as a nation.